What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a story time, and given that it is spooky season, I'm going to tell a spooky story, highlighted with some, I don't know if you can hear it or not, atmospheric thunder, because it is currently coming across stormy outside. But anyway, this is sort of the closest I've come to first-hand witnessing any actual paranormal activity or any sort of like this is my ghost story, really, and I can't even claim 100% credit for it, because I only have this story because I was there, like observing, wasn't actually participating, and that's a good thing for my karma, my aura, my something, because this story takes place in a cemetery at night, because of course it does, and the people that I was there with, because I was there with some people, had decided that was the best place to pull out their Ouija board. Now, there are a couple of rules, and I'll probably end up making a video on this at some point, and by at some point I mean it'll probably end up on my TikTok next year, but one of the main like rules for how you use them properly without disrespecting it, so that you can protect yourself against negative forces, is don't do it in a cemetery. So my story actually starts off with a story itself. So the story that was told to me was that they tried doing this, the same people had tried doing it before with other friends, sort of a bigger group. They all thought it was just a fun laugh, but there was a bit of a wind, so they had gone into this like little sort of pergola thing that had some walls to keep the wind out, and sort of up one end, sort of up the top sort of thing. So like where you sat down, there was sort of a wall, sort of, when you sat down there was sort of a wall to get, you know, between shoulder and ear sort of thing. There was a wall somewhere about there, and then the roof was all sort of squared off where it came down to the pillars. That was all squared off, so there's like little slit window thing about, you know, this wide sort of thing that you could sort of sit there and look out through. But up on this bit of wood inside the actual A-frame of the roof was a cross, a crucifix. Now my friends, for whatever reason, couldn't figure out why, when they were in the middle of a cemetery, you know, where spirits are known to lurk, their thing wasn't working. And then one of them pointed out that, oh, well, there's a cross there. Oh, okay, well maybe if we go outside of the thing, back out into the wind, it'll work. Apparently they went about 2 meters outside it, and it worked. They immediately made contact with the spirit. Now, obviously, anyone sane enough to look at that and realize, you know, like you have a quick think about that, and you come to the realization that it wasn't working. because there were only negative spirits in the area, and that holy symbol, whether you believe in that religion or not, was keeping them at bay. Religious symbols of any kind do that. They will keep evil spirits at bay. So they immediately attracted a malevolent spirit, which is fun. So they decided to go up there and do it again when I was there with them. And it was only myself and 2 other people, and they were the ones that were going to do it. I was just going to sort of sit and, put it away and watch. And to begin with, I was like, because I was YouTubing at the time, I was like, I'm going to film this, be a cool sort of spooky video that I can put up. And the entire time I had my camera on, nothing happened. And they're sitting there like, this is really weird because this is the exact spot where we did it last time and it worked. Why is it not working now? The second I turned my camera off, still holding my phone, nothing. The second I put it in my pocket and take my hand off it, contact. Because of course a malevolent spirit wouldn't want to be videotaped. Like it's kind of a little creepy. And obviously if you're being skeptical, you could just be like, oh no, someone was deliberately holding it still when they were inside because they wanted to freak everybody out. And then the 2 people I was there with were just playing a prank on me. Like, if you're being skeptical, sure, I guess it makes sense like that. However, obviously, considering that my entire TikTok is paganism and witchcraft and all things metaphysical, the supernatural and the paranormal sort of fit in there as things that I believe. So I was like, oh, that's great. And so we were there for about half an hour, and then I was like, okay, yeah, no, we need to they started getting this little message, and then we don't understand this message. Like, what the hell? Like what does this message mean? And so I pulled my phone out. It was still working. I went onto the internet and I started Google searching what it was that they had coming up, like the questions they were asking, the answers they were getting. Started Google searching that and found out that apparently the spirit they'd gotten in contact with was a former farm owner whose property used to be where there is now a retirement village, and he was none too happy with his land being used, being taken and turned into a retirement home, essentially, which was just a little bit creepier because one of the people doing the board worked there at the time. And so after they were well and truly freaked out, like, oh, okay, I've never heard this story before in my life, but we'd found a quite reputable news article about the place, and we got in a good description of sort of what the spirit manifested itself as in sort of a visual means. We then decided, well, that's enough. Let's go home. That's enough for tonight. And so I was sort of staying with one of those friends for the next couple of days, and then had to go to work sort of the next night sort of thing, or a night shift. following day, as I was sort of starting to pack my stuff up to leave, they were telling me about how during their night shift they had a couple of restless residents ask them why there was a man in a grey trench coat like standing by their window or in their doorway or somewhere, but when all the nurses went in, it was just the resident in their room. Because being a malevolent spirit, it had attached itself to my friend who worked there and used her as a vessel to transport itself back to the place it wanted to go back to, and it was essentially trying to scare the residents into leaving so that it could reclaim its land. I wish I were making this up. If I get a chance to go and hang out with that particular friend, I will redo this story time on this channel, and I'll sort of get their side of the story for it as well, because I'm not making this up. But yeah, that's my little spooky, scary story time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button for me. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a thumbs up.